It does not feel like this is the time to make drastic changes out of discomfort. Instead, it's a time to carry on, to stay the course and gather what this season is teaching you. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Intuition Unlocked. Today we have an Intuition Keys episode, which if you've been here listening, you know exactly what this brings. But if you are new here, then let me share that these are timeless channel messages I receive for our podcast community that offer you guidance and insight into what spirit and your guides want you to hear at the time you're drawn to listen. I call them intuition keys because I believe each message holds a key to help you unlock something meaningful within you. This could be more clarity, an aha, or a renewed trust in your own intuitive voice and path. And whether you're listening today or months from now, trust that you've landed here for a reason. There's something here for you. And as you listen, allow your own intuition to rise. Notice what resonates, what stirs something inside of you, and let the rest go. And these messages also speak energetically since they're channeled. So use your body and your clairs to notice what's coming up for you and settle into this space and time here with me right now. So let's get into the messages. The main energy and message I receive for you today is stoke the fire. There is a wave of energy and momentum that you are riding upon, bringing you upliftment and a push forward. This feels like an unseen current beneath your feet that's going to nudge you forward towards something important. And you may already feel like this wave is underneath you, and if not, it's going to come. And you don't need to force it or have all the answers to understand what this is really going to lead you towards. Instead, it's the invitation to simply be willing to be a part of this journey and let this wave be the vehicle that's going to take you there. Because while you're going to be an active participant with this energy, it is doing a lot of the work. It is bringing you and providing you the momentum to push you out and forward securely and safely. And then though at some point you will be tossed off, right? Like if you imagine you're riding a wave, you don't ride it forever, the wave dissipates, but you continue forward in that forward momentum. And that's where I see though, right now that wave is coming and pushing, you're in the midst of that peak of it. And at some point it will let you go and you will continue forward. And I sense some of you are meeting this energy with a bit of timidness or passivity, like you're holding back from fully leaning in and allowing it to carry you. And this hesitation makes sense as I can see where some of it's coming from. I can feel the exhaustion and busyness and your long to-do lists that are already weighing on you. It's like, what? There's one more thing here to manage or be a part of. And you might be thinking, how can I possibly fit one more thing into my life right now? Yet even with that sense, we can acknowledge this effort and energy you're already expending, while also remembering that there's a fire within that needs tending. And it feels as though your inner flame, the energy, your drive, and inspiration that fuels you has been burning pretty low. And I'm guessing it's because of all the things you have already going on in your life. It's pulling from you, it's kind of dragging you down. And so, yeah, I can sense your embers are there, yet there's no roaring fire at this time. And that's okay. It's simply an observation of where you are energetically. And maybe you resonate with that and maybe you don't, but I'd say connect either way to your own inner fire. Like, what does it look like? How is it feeling? And how can you tend to it either way? Because your fire always needs some tending, nourishment, and energy, right? You need to fill your cup to be able to go out and fill others. And with this wave of momentum supporting you, now is the time to really feed that fire, to take this time to pause long enough to ask yourself, what fills my cup? What makes me feel alive? Because that will stoke the fire by adding fuel when you can start to add those things in. So maybe it's rest, creativity, laughter, a walk, spiritual practices, or something that just helps reconnect you to your vitality. And you don't need to do everything at once. You just need to create some space to tend to your energy and bring your flame back to life. That's the role you can take as this wave carries you. Focus on this aspect, because when your fire burns brighter, you'll not only be ready to ride this wave, but you'll also be able to receive and fully engage with whatever it's bringing into your life. Now, here are 4 more messages that support this main message. Message 1, greet the sun. When I first received this message, I thought, greet the sun? Really? But as the energy settled in, I understood the depth behind it. I'm being shown that some of you are moving through your days almost on autopilot. Life feels a little bit muted, as though you're handling what needs to get done, but there's a heaviness. Your shoulders are weighed down, your breath is a little constricted, your head is down, and you're focused on only what's right in front of you. And with this, there's a sense of this gray dullness, like the vibrancy you once felt has slowly begun fading away. So this message of greeting the sun is a call to wake up a little bit, not just physically in the morning, but spiritually and emotionally. If you can imagine actually going out and greeting the sun, you lift your head up, you look at the sky, you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, and something subtle yet quite profound starts to happen. Your perspective shifts. You're reminded of the simple yet exquisite miracle of being alive. The sun rises every day, unwavering and constant, and greeting it is a practice of reconnecting to the rhythm of life itself and gratitude for being here in this moment, in this space. So this is really an invitation to bring vibrancy back into your days, to find the color again, the magic, and the childlike wonder that still exists within and around you. So see if you can let yourself be awed by the ordinary. Notice the way the light filters through leaves, or the quiet of an early morning, or the taste of your first cup of tea or coffee. Greet the sun and allow it to greet you back, offering you warmth and a reminder that even in the mundane, life is rich with beauty. And I see this simple act can help reawaken your gratitude, lift this heaviness you've been carrying, and infuse your days with a bit more renewed sense of purpose just within this simple act. Message 2, color outside the lines. From a young age, most of us were taught the value of staying inside the lines, literally and figuratively. It was drilled into us that coloring neatly, following the rules, and doing things the right way equated to being good, capable, and successful. And a lot of that can bring amazing things into our life. Yet right now, you're being asked to challenge that conditioning. You're being encouraged to get a little messy. Coloring outside the lines isn't about recklessness or throwing out everything you've already learned. It's about finding some freedom. It's about shaking up the routines and structures that may have become so rigid that now they're stifling your growth. There's something trying to come through you, a message, a creative spark, a fresh perspective, but it's a little stuck. To open this channel, you need some more flow, play, and willingness to do things differently. So this is your permission slip to experiment and let curiosity lead you and say yes to something that excites you, even if it doesn't make full sense yet. This could look like trying a new creative outlet, approaching a problem in a new way, or simply giving yourself space to do something spontaneous. It's about letting go of the shoulds and exploring what happens when you allow yourself to be a little untamed. This energy of exploration is going to bring more insights, opportunities, and vitality into your life. So loosen your grip on the lines and see what happens when you color beyond them. Message 3. Where does your trust lie? This message stems in reflection around where does your trust lie? Is it in yourself, in a person, in your routines, job, coffee, or even your devices? Every day, you make unconscious agreements about where your trust is placed, often tying it to things that make you feel safe, stable, or capable. But here's some bigger truth I'm getting. Many of these things are impermanent. A computer can crash, a person can disappoint us, a plan can fall apart. And when that happens, it can feel like the ground beneath you has been pulled away, leaving you questioning everything. And so Spirit has a gentle reminder that this is part of the human experience. These moments aren't failures, they're actually invitations. invitations to build a deeper, more resilient kind of trust, and one that isn't easily shaken. You're being called to strengthen the trust you place in yourself and in something greater, a higher power, spirit, God, universe. Because when your trust is rooted in these places, you can navigate life's inevitable bumps with more grace and stability. You can become less reliant on external things to keep you balanced because your anchor is within. So to help you with this, take time this week to reflect on what or whom you're trusting most of and ask yourself, am I trusting from a place of empowerment or from fear? And how can I bring more of that trust back to myself and my connection to something greater? Message 4 and the last message. Carry on. I sense that some of you are wondering if it's time for a big pivot, maybe a move, a new career, a complete identity shift. There's this restless energy, and it's somewhat subtle. It's not big and loud or full center in your life, yet it's present. And this feeling that something isn't fully lining up in your life anymore is a cord that's running through you. And it's understandable. Perhaps you're facing some stress or challenges, and part of you wants an escape. Or maybe you're just longing for movement and purpose after a period of feeling stagnant. So Spirit wants you to know that these feelings are valid, yet they're also a signpost, not a stop sign. It does not feel like this is the time to make drastic changes out of discomfort. Instead, it's a time to carry on, to stay the course and gather what this season is teaching you. I see what you're experiencing now is laying some critical groundwork for what's to come. It's forging some resilience, sparking new desires, and preparing you for the next chapter. So if you rush out of this moment too quickly, you may miss this deeper transformation taking place beneath the surface. So see if you can settle into carrying on. Tend to the small but important things in your life, your habits, your energy, your inner self. And trust that the bigger changes will come when the time is right. And know this is not about enduring for the sake of endurance. It's about honoring the process of becoming. And the space and time that you're in is leading you somewhere. This wave is taking you forward. So trust and carry on. These were your messages for today. And the main takeaways to remember: tend to your inner fire. Stoke it with presence, trust, and curiosity. Take time to greet the sun and explore beyond your comfort zone. Also start to notice where you're placing your trust. And if you can, start to strengthen that relationship of trust with yourself and something greater. And continue to carry on, knowing that this season is preparing you for something meaningful. And there's meaning here in this time right now. And it just takes a little bit of effort to notice what that is. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you're following the show if you aren't already. And if you're willing to, share this episode with one friend who pops into mind as I state this, because there might be something in this episode here for them as well. As always, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for your time and your listenership. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.